I'm Chris Candace Fisher, Vice President of Student Affairs, Diversity and Inclusion, and the college's Chief Equity Officer. I'm thrilled to welcome you to Berklee College of Music. Berklee is a community of entrepreneurs, musical entrepreneurs. Just imagine 4,000 musicians all eating, sleeping, talking, learning, playing, jamming, creating, and living music all day, every day.
So my name is Lee McLaren, and I will be your Oprah for today. Here at Berklee, we are so proud of our alumni, and we have 4 fantastic alumni here to chat with you about their experience at Berklee, what they did afterwards, and just generally what's going on for them. So I'm going to read their wonderful bios here, and if you could just raise your hand when I get to your name. So let's start with Christine. Christine Occhino is Music Business and Management class of 2011. With an extensive music business and performance background that's taken her everywhere from Columbia Records to the Grammy Awards, Christine's passion for the industry is evident in everything that she does. At Berklee, she was a vocal scholarship recipient who graduated in 2011 with a degree in music business and management. Occhino is a professional member of both the Recording Academy and the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. Over the years, she's worked with artists such as Beyoncé, you guys haven't heard of Beyoncé, right? Okay. Adele, Foster the People, Trey Songz, and Mavis Staples, among many others. In addition to creating and running the Pop Music Academy, a successful contemporary music education and artist development business, and a recording studio located in Stamford, Connecticut, Occhino is also an author for Sonicbids and the president and executive director of Hope and Harmony, an organization she founded to bring health and healing to those who need it through music. So Christine, can you raise your hand? There's Christine. All right. Let's start with one of my favorite questions here. What things did you do while at Berklee to ensure success post-graduation? And how did your Berklee education prepare you to be successful?
I worked a lot, which is something you all should do. So I worked in the Student Activity Center, and I did marketing promotions for the Berklee Groove, which is the student newspaper. I grew in that role to be the editor and would put on events locally, lots of live music stuff, which was a lot of fun, and learned a lot about marketing. So it was really awesome to have the support from the school to get to try out different things in the music business field for myself, and all of that lended itself to what I ended up doing in life following that, learning how to manage budgets and work with people. I ended up being able to hire people, and going through that process was something that I never would have had exposure to prior to being here. And working in peer advising, opening a music academy myself, helped me learn relationships with students of all ages, which is really helpful. So having the support here, I think, was the most important thing in the workplace to help me get to where I am today. So during my time here, especially in the last year or two, I knew I wanted to be in the music business, and the industry is very challenging to break into, and I wanted to really work at a major label and see what that experience would be like. So I spent a lot of time at the internship offices and made a lot of important relationships there. So my transition was actually really smooth. I got an opportunity for Columbia Records from the experiential learning department here. So it was just an application process that I said, there's no way I'm going to get this, but I'll do it anyway. And it was during finals. I was really nervous. And I got the call 4 days before graduation that they wanted me for that. And I was on the blue team, so that was working for Beyoncé and J. Cole and a bunch of really cool people at the label. So I was able to graduate with a job, which is something that I think everyone really aspires to do after going to school like this and doing exactly what I wanted to do and exactly what I studied. So I transitioned, I think, really cleanly into the real world, and was able to bring a lot to a record label that had generally a lot of Ivy League students that came, a lot of NYU students, and I was the only one who was an artist at my core and came from a music background and brought a lot of fresh life into a label that was getting a little bit stale, in my opinion. So. Excellent. I think I'm piggybacking on what you had said earlier too, that the network here is so important, and I was a vocalist when I was here, so I found myself, I think, aligning very quickly with other vocalists because we had a lot in common, but the most important relationships I made were the ones with people just in my ear training classes, in my harmony classes, people that were different majors than I was, because those are the relationships, on top of vocalists are great to know people that do what you do, but having relationships elsewhere that can benefit what you do later on is very important. The fact that I'm even here today was based on one of those relationships from an early composition class, a girl that I'd met that was a singer and who went on to tour with Stevie Wonder and Ariana Grande and Sam Smith and everyone you could imagine under the sun. And we were just doing composition classes together, and we're just buddies that would go get lunch and stuff. So it's cool to be able to call on those people, those relationships, and those networks that bridge gaps between, the reason that I'm here meeting all of these people today. So it's really cool to go anywhere. You go to New York, you go to LA, like they're saying. I went to the Grammys in February, and to walk a red carpet and see all this alumni, it's a really cool thing to see this network of people, and there's so much love everywhere you go and no matter what you studied. So from being on one side with business people and then seeing someone like Charlie Puth who's doing an interview and you're like, Berklee, that's right, we're right here. And it's kind of cool to always have that. It's like you always have a home here. No matter where you go in the world, Berklee's like a family. Like kind of finding your lane while you're here also. I had this similar experience. I think we all go through that, and you guys will go through that as well. When you come in and you're like, I'm the best from the small town that I'm from, or you've won all these talent shows or wherever it is that you do, and you come here and you go to your first welcome concert, and you're like, damn. I need to practice now. I'm leaving and I'm going home and doing lip trills, and I hate them, but I'm going to do them. But you just want to work so hard while you're here, and also finding where do you add the most value to the industry is something that I didn't get until I was here, where I love to sing, and I still love to sing, but my passion I found was in music business, and I only studied that because my dad was like, you're doing what? You're going to music school? You're singing? What are you going to do? And I was like, no, I love this. I love music. And my mom was very supportive of me doing whatever my heart desired. But my dad was like, you need to get a job. Business was something that I was kind of led into by my family. And I remember sitting in my first day of intro to music business, and the light bulb went off like I was like a cartoon in a TV show. And I said, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I love to sing, but I have such a passion for the music business that I never would have known about, never would have been exposed to, and that's where I lend it the most value. I can still sing all I want, I still gig and do that stuff because it fulfills me, but being able to give back through music, being able to make a living doing what I love, and providing opportunities to other people. I own a music school and artist development business in Stamford, Connecticut, and almost all of my staff are Berklee grads, and maybe it's preferential treatment. Maybe.
There's some bias going
I don't know.
on.
I don't think there's any bias at all. But it's good to know that I know what you know. When you graduate and you want to get a job, and if you want to teach, or teaching's maybe your side gig when you're not touring, and it's nice to give back and give someone else that chance and that education, or light that fire that brings them to a school like Berklee, where you know what they're going to get. But I know that when you graduate here, you are going to have the right skills, you're going to have communication, you're part of a really important network that's going to help your students. So getting a job with me or someone else is really easy when you have a name like that and you've worked really hard and have good references. Make sure you're nice to your teachers and do your homework as well. They help you a lot when you leave, if you play your cards right. I would say use all of the platforms that Berklee gives you to try out what you think you might want to do in your life. Make the mistakes here where it's safe. There's someone there to catch you. There's people here to help you and support you. I was able to try so many different areas of music business until I figured out what it was that kind of made me tick. But being able to go from marketing and say, okay, I like that, but it's not something that makes me want to get up in the morning and get excited to go into work. Try out promotions, try out working for the record label here, try out working in the studio. I mean, anything you could possibly want to do, there's like this giant beta test that goes on at Berklee where you have the professionals doing it and then they give you the opportunity to show your hand in it. And we're all really popular, as you can see. Michael Bublé is calling right now. Just make sure you try everything. And nothing can hurt. And I did music business, so we had the entrepreneurial track, we had the marketing track, we had
all want them.
Promotions and all these things. So I was able to figure out that I had to be creative, and entrepreneurial was what it was for me, and led me to eventually starting my own business and feeling like I had the know-how and the support to do it because I had the experience from here. So don't feel like you need to wait until you graduate to do things. Try it here where everybody's here to help you and wants you to succeed. I think when you get here and you realize that you're just one of a lot of really talented people, you kind of want to stay in the things that you're good at. And one of the most important things that I did for myself was trying classes that I knew I wasn't going to be good at. but I'm here to learn, and I felt like that's what you're paying for. You want to learn. So I was a pop R&B vocalist, and I took a jazz ensemble, which was kind of a nightmare on earth for me. It was really hard. I turned every jazz song into an R&B song, and my teachers would. I remember being yelled at and just mortified, not yelled at like mean, but just they would stop the song and say, "Start it over, and now sing it in the right style." And I would just be like, "Oh my God, I can't stop doing runs. It doesn't matter what I do." So learning that was so important, and I stuck with it, and I got a repertoire together, and within 3 months, just total coincidence, but the way life always has it, I got a call from a jazz band one summer when I was home, and I made a ton of money being able to do jazz songs. And I looked at my parents, and I was like, who would have thought? Here I am. I'm a jazz singer today because there's a check with my name on it, and I don't hate it. Try everything, learn everything, take things even just for fun. I did turntable technique my senior year. It was terrible, horrible. I'll never be a DJ. And I struggled a lot, but that was one of the coolest things that I can say, that while all of my other friends were at BU pre-med and just struggling and hating what they were doing, on my worst day, I'm scratching a turntable. It's not that bad. It's a pretty awesome thing to study for, so try everything while you're here. We were all talking about it. It's such a happy place for us. Like, this place is so warm, and to have spent some of, I think, the hardest years of our lives probably working just because this is what you want to do so badly, so you work hard at it. But it's so nice to be out of it. I mean, we're all at least a few years out, if not more, and to come back here and get off the train and just smile, like a sigh of relief, and be like, man, I love this place. This brings back the best memories being here. That says a lot, I think, about your choice in being here today.
Oh, let's end with the warm fuzzies. I love that. Thank you so much to our wonderful alumni panel, Nicole, Christine, Willie, and Nick. Thank you guys so much.